Okay, today we're going to go over maintenance on the Edgebander. This is the Streamer 1054 by HolzHer. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your edge tape feeder is cleared out and everything is blown off inside of here. Make sure that there are no defects in this red rubber that feeds the edge banding in. Next thing you want to do is make sure that the light sensor is free from obstructions. You can blow it off, or with a clean cloth you can dry it off. I'm going to point to it here. It's that guy right there. Next, you want to go ahead and put a little bit of 3-in-1 oil on the cylinders. Just a very small amount of oil on the cylinders that the end trimmers ride on, just to keep them from ever corroding. Make sure you have a nice smooth ride on there. There are 2 for each end trimmer. So you can see this is the rear end trimmer. It has a top and a bottom. The front end trimmer is back here and has basically the same exact thing. You put a little bit of oil on your hand and then just wipe it with a soft cloth to make sure that it doesn't collect dust. Next, you want to clean the glue nozzle, which is right here. Watch out, this gets very hot. The only reason I'm touching this is because it's cool, but for a while after operating it, this thing will be very hot. You want to start off by scraping it with the tool that they provide, and you can just scrape across the face like this to get most of the glue off. You'll also probably want to scrape around the sides and then down underneath in here, because the glue tends to run out and down. Once you're done doing that, you can use a wire brush, and always run the wire brush this direction. Same direction as the material would move. And if you want to be really thorough, once it cools down, you can use a rag with a little bit of lacquer thinner to wipe that nozzle off and get it as clean as you can. But this is about as clean as this will ever be outside of being brand new. Next, you want to go ahead and clean off all the shoes. That's this piece right here, this piece right here, and the scrapers don't have shoes. I believe the scrapers just have the following wheels, but you'll go ahead and clean those off too. So clean off the following wheels, clean off the shoes, clean off the shoe that is on the end trimmer, and make sure that they don't have any old glue stuck to them. It's also a good idea to check these buffing wheels visually and make sure that there are no loose pieces hanging off of them. Anything that can get tangled up with your edge banding or get wrapped around the motors. Just make sure that they are intact and that they are contacting the actual panel faces. Next, you want to clean all the excess dust and dirt off of the chains that operate the beam. That would be this chain right here, and it connects up with this chain right here. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to have somebody standing at the wheel to raise and lower the beam, and then I'm just going to go ahead and blow it off as the chain passes by. Kevin, go ahead and lower that beam. Okay, and now I'm gonna have you go ahead and raise it back up while I do the other chain. Go ahead. The next thing we want to do is we want to lubricate the chain, which is going to happen at these 2 points. So we're going to use the Glitmo 805 on a grease gun, and we want to do 2 or 3 pulls of the grease gun for each one. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in. Make sure we have a tight connection on the fitting. Open it up. Give a pump. 2. We'll go 3 because it's been a little while. Pull that off. On to the next one. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll pull that off. Slide that out of the way. Go ahead and wipe the grease points off so that they don't collect dust. And now the transport chain will have lubrication. You can cycle through it one time just to make sure that it has lubrication. Okay, next we're going to lubricate the pre-mill transport, which will be this guy right here and that guy right there. So we're going to use the Glitmo. Plug it on. We're just, oh, it didn't hardly even go in. Have to clean that up. Hold that tight. There we go. And then we'll do one on there if we can squeeze this in there. It's hard to get in there. That doesn't want to go in. Oh, because the this plate is a little too close to the edge. So instead, what we'll do, we'll take a little bit of this grease and we'll put it on that. Put a little bit on the back side, and then we'll wipe it off so it doesn't collect any dust. Good. Some spilling there. Get rid of that. Anywhere that the grease winds up being left over, we'll pretty much just sit there and collect a bunch of sawdust as the sawdust sticks to it. So try not to leave much. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and oil the beam chain. This chain across here and the mating chain over there. So I'm going to point you right over there, and then we'll get a little bit of oil on there. Kevin, go ahead and start turning that, please. I'm just going to put a few drops of oil on that chain as it spins. Okay, and now I'm going to come over here, probably easiest to see right here. And Kevin, would you mind going back the other direction? We should be good there. And then we'll give it a couple up and down motions just to spread that oil out. And we can also hit right in here with a little bit of oil. And there's another one right here. We can hit that with a little oil. And there is one more right there. Go ahead and go down. And we can hit that with a little bit of oil too. Down there. Okay. Next we're going to do the metering rod. The metering rod is what is used by the Edgebander to determine the height of the glue. You can barely see a little tiny bit of it right here. It's this brass tube, and you just want to make sure that that has a real light coat of 3-in-1 oil. And so I'm really just going to put a drop of it on there and spread it around with my finger. And once we turn the Edgebander on and have the glue hot, we can bring that back up and down to spread that oil around. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to check all the motors in the machine to make sure that they have smooth operation and that there's nothing stuck in the back side. So we're just make sure that the machine is completely powered down, that the switch is off, disconnected from power. And we're just going to give each motor a spin by hand, make sure that it's running smoothly. There's nothing stuck in the back. Pieces of edge banding can get stuck back here. Want to make sure that those are out. Be real careful when you're doing these because they have sharp knives. Want to just reach in there and rotate that motor to make sure that it actually does spin. We're good there. We're good there. Little strings of glue tend to get caught right. Let's see if I can get my hand in there. Right on the back side of this motor and the other end trimming motor. You can see the back of that motor a little bit. Right there. And you want to pick those little strings of glue out. You can also come over here, make sure that there's no glue strings stuck in any of the moving parts. Make sure that the overall inside of that cabinet is clean. And then you're done with maintenance.